Hello, everybody. Rev Rick here, Broadman Baptist Church. This is the Broadman Word for October 14th, 2020. And we're going to talk today about sanctification and God's mercies. And more importantly, we're going to talk about the battle and things being hard. So, sanctification, we've talked about before. It is just a fancy word that indicates your daily walk towards Christ-likeness, your closeness with Jesus every day gets closer and closer. And that is because we are attempting to be as or possess as much godliness as we can. The battles of sanctification are many, but God's mercies are new. Morning after morning after morning, we are renewed. The battle for your heart, unfortunately, still goes on no matter how long you've been a Christian. Temptation will always exist all around you. It is Satan's tool to get you off your walk or your path. And he lurks around like a roaring lion all the time. Falsehoods are intermingled with the truth constantly in an attempt to make it something more palatable to those who don't understand the truth. So the people of God tend to live as a misunderstood minority, and there is always sickness, physical and spiritual sickness all around you, and we need to grow in grace daily as a source of strength to be able to combat these things. If we didn't and we remained in a weakened state, we would eventually give in to things that we should resist, and other things can happen that would impugn our walk. You're sinned against by others. Maybe your hopes, dreams, plans have difficulty or maybe even fail. You experience the corruption of the world, and injustice may be enacted against you. And, it's always tempting to wonder if it's all worth it. Is it worth being a Christian? But in all of this, it's important for us to understand that God is still at work. And these things that we go through is just him molding us into the likeness of his Son. It is in many ways for the Christian a multifaceted life of periods of hardship, and the hardships of life that this fallen world intersect with the restorative hardships of grace is where you will often find yourself. And so it is for us to remember then that the steadfast love of the Lord will never cease. His mercies should never come to an end. They are new every morning, and great is your faithfulness. That is from Lamentations 3:22 and 23. One more time, because it's important. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, and great is your faithfulness. So, considering this passage, we should understand what it says about you and who you are and what you've been given as a child of God. God's steadfast, faithful, and never failing love has been placed on you, even though that you could have never done anything of your own to earn or deserve it. There is more, though, to say about his love. It never ceases. God will never give up on you. He will never walk away in disgust at what you've done. He will never regret that he placed his love on you. He will love you just as much on your worst day as he does on your best day. The gift of God's love is forever, and it's yours forever. But this passage from Lamentations says more. It announces that as God's child, you have been blessed with eternal mercies that are renewed every morning. So just consider that for a moment. There are fresh mercies available to you for this very day. It is form-fitted for all the things that you will face in this day and beyond, both those things that you know about and worry about, and those that you don't know about yet. There are mercies available to you today and tomorrow, and renewed each and every day, that are going to be able to help you deal with these things. They are fresh and they're new every morning. And then also, God's mercies aren't generic. There's not some blanket blessing that gets poured out from time to time. And there's no bell that rings every morning that says, oh, it's time for the mercies, right? We know that. And that would be demeaning. It would be a less than sort of grace. God's grace is a personal grace. It's situational care, and it is concrete help for whatever you're going to have to deal with that day. It meets you right where you are, and it gives you just exactly what you need in the situation. You get a supply of God's mercies. It flows from a renewable font that will never run out and never end, no matter what. So this side of forever is hard, but you're not alone. You've been given a sturdy, continuous love and mercies that are new every morning. It's just what you need right here, right now, today, tomorrow, and continuing. If you want further study on this, Lamentations 3:22 through 27, it's a great place to look. As always, these perspectives are coming to you from the devotional New Morning Mercies by Paul Tripp. And for now, I want you to ponder on grace and renewable mercies. I love you. Hope you're doing well. I will see you soon.